Tiger fans are on their feet.
As this should be.
He pulls it in for the 25-yard touchdown. In Erie, Colorado, you are title town today. Tigers are on top by 2 scores.
Hello and welcome into the Erie Tiger Network on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's Erie versus Broomfield. Brandon Bird here with you. Alongside me is John Kent, and there's a little taste of fall in the air. There's a little taste of rivalry in the air, and what a interesting week it has been. Of course, these Erie Tigers last year took on the Broomfield Eagles in the 4A state semifinal. It came down to the last play of the game, and the Tiger fans will unfondly remember how that went. And so this week, the students, they have avoided wearing blue at all costs. I got criticized for using blue marker on the whiteboard in my classroom. They were not saying the name of the opponent, Broomfield, this week. A lot of students that are real into the activities that are going to happen on the field here today, aren't they, John?
Yeah, after that late season run by the Tigers last year of a bunch of wins in a row and going to the semifinals and the playoffs, losing in the state final last year and then losing in such a crushing fashion in last year's playoffs, there's been just a lot of hype going into this game, a lot of talk in the school about getting revenge here against the Broomfield Eagles. And we've just seen the energy build and build for this game, especially after last week's huge win against Montrose. Everyone is really hoping for and expecting a win here.
Well, let's take a look at some of those numbers from last year's game. You know, if you look at the numbers, Blake Barnett, he only threw 3 incompletions that game. Of course, it came down to that final play. Tigers and Broomfield, they rushed for a lot of yards. And I think one thing that kind of spurred on this defense is we want to change how we operate our defense. We have got to stop the run. And so Jeff Geiger, he kind of handed the defensive coordinator duties to Jordan Graff, and that is one thing that the Tigers have done really well this year. We'll talk a little bit about what happened in last week's game against Montrose, but just as you look last year, obviously 3 reception TDs. The Tigers got some stuff done through the air. You have Blake Barnett returning. Can you replicate that same kind of performance today? And I think that's what the Tigers are hoping to do. And speaking of Blake Barnett, what a historic career it has been so far. He has eclipsed the 6,000-yard passing mark last game against Mullen. He's thrown for 66 pass touchdowns. He's rushed for close to 50 touchdowns, over 100 total touchdowns in his Erie career, and it has been fun to watch as we enjoy the future Wildcats last season here in a Tiger uniform. And speaking of Blake Barnett, we caught up with our very own Blake Barnett earlier this week. Hi, and welcome back into our pregame shows. We get you set for this kickoff here tonight, and or this afternoon, rather. We're here with Blake Barnett, and first of all, Blake, I kind of want to just look back at last week, that big game against Montrose. I know that your guys' plan going in was to be the more physical team because that's what Montrose prides themselves upon. Yeah. Do you feel like you guys were able to do that?
Yeah, I think so. We did a lot of great things, especially in like the run game as an offense. We were able to get some good yards on the run, be able to open things up deep in the pass game. And defensively, our D-line just stepped up and kind of put their backpack on, and they did a very good job. Linebackers filling holes, scraping D-line. And then defensive backs too, Preston Ronan. I think we filled holes well. We attacked the ball, and the result, that was a very good win.
As we look forward to this week and playing against the team that you're playing, I've been instructed by the guys that we don't say their name, we don't bring up their colors, we don't wear their colors. Just a few years ago, the big rivalry for Erie was Frederick. Mm-hmm. That seems to have shifted. Is this kind of the big team that you circle on your calendar at the start of the year?
I don't think we circle anybody. I think it's a week-by-week mindset, and I think we're doing a good job of that.
In terms of reflecting on, I'm going to bring up an old wound last year. How often do you think about that play in the off season?
Literally every day, every night. I've lost countless hours of sleep on that. Yeah, it sucked.
Do you feel like that has done maybe a good job of prepping you and preparing you for this season and motivation going into this year?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, after the game, like the first month or two, you're motivated. You're gonna get in the gym, do as much as you can to be better, and to fix that like situation if it comes again. But when it gets to come March, April, May, motivation kind of dies down. I mean, I kind of look at those pictures, look at that picture, look at the play, and just kind of reopen the wound and get motivation from it.
In terms of kind of the game plan this week, what are you guys looking to do to just have that edge this weekend?
Just play your Tiger football. Nothing more, nothing less.
Do you feel like you guys are always more about just executing the things that you guys do, or from a game-to-game basis, do you really feel like, okay, there are some wrinkles that we want to add in and exploit based on what we're seeing on the film?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, game plan comes in Monday, and you want to attack the weak guys in their team, do this, do that, run the right plays, do the right things. But just as a team, I think we just work on our stuff, work on what we need to work on, and mistakes we made last week, we try to improve them so we don't make the same mistakes next week and just do us.
The one thing I don't think we've talked about yet, obviously you're wearing your K-State shirt here, is Coach Colin Klein, the quarterback's coach, did a good job of recruiting you out to Kansas State. Walk us through that process. What was that process like, and then what ultimately led you to decide to commit to Kansas State?
So it was after my sophomore season I started getting a lot of attention from college coaches, and January coaches started coming in to the school, which was pretty awesome. Like private jets coming into the school was awesome. And then it was about once the weather started getting better, they could watch me throw. And as quarterbacks, it's a bit different to get recruited because they want to come and watch you throw, see how you spin it, mechanics, see how you are on the guys. And I think it was in sometime March, April. He came, watched me throw, and then I didn't really hear much out of him for a while. And then in May, he called me up like right after I got my Washington offer. Coach Geiger texted me. He's like, call Coach Klein because they can't call us. So he was like, call Coach Klein, and I think he has some good news for you. So got on the phone with him. He offered me, and then it was every week we got a phone call, 10, 20 minutes every night, or 1 week out of the night, or one night out of the week. And then just kind of went from there, went into an unofficial visit in late June, kind of fell in love with the place. Because I went to Georgia like 3 days before that for a camp. And I mean, obviously, national champions, sure. I loved it. But I went to K-State and it just felt like home. So then this year I went to another unofficial, and then finally took my official visit, hung out with the guys, hung out with the team, spent 2 nights there, and just fell in love, and it's my place.
Awesome. And I guess one last question for you, kind of along those lines. I know one of the cool things is when you commit, now you're starting to get introduced a little bit more. Does Coach Klein ever kind of look at the Erie film with you from games and say, hey, here's maybe some things that we want to clean up or get better at? What's his message to you typically?
Every week I kind of get in like a WebEx call or like a Zoom call with him, and we watch film. We called in Vanguard, or in Florida when we were going on Vanguard. We kind of just called each other because there's no Wi-Fi at that hotel. But we kind of get on a WebEx Zoom call and then watch over film and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this afternoon. We're going to take a break here on the Erie Tiger Network. When we come back, we'll have more of our pregame show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not know with certainty what lies ahead, But that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, John Kent here with you as we have the pregame show roll on. And last week, the Tigers, they took the 5-hour bus ride, 5.5 hours, up to Montrose. And, well, they came away with a big victory to move on the season to 2-1. And, you know, those Tigers, if you look at some of the stats, at least on their team last week, you know, we highlight the tackles and the sacks. There was two pass defenses and an interception, but really we just bring that up because they hit really hard. They were really physical. I think that was a point of emphasis going into last week is, look, Montrose prides themselves on being the more physical team in the state, and the Tiger defense came out and really popped them in the mouth pretty good, didn't they, John?
Yeah, the Tigers defense has really just hardened up on run games in specific this year. We've seen it against Mullen, against Montrose last week. They really just stopped the run game entirely as best as they can and just really limiting the yards off of the run.
Tigers were really balanced last week in their attack as well. 246 yards through the air, 211 on the ground, 3 touchdowns through the air, 2 on the ground. And this Tiger offense, they've done a good job of being balanced. And I think if you're going to beat Broomfield, same type of thing today. You got to be able to advance it through the air, but pound it on the ground when you need to.
Yeah, in the past we've seen the Tigers rely heavily on the pass and in Blake Barnett, but this year we've seen them utilize the running backs a lot more, whether it be straight out of the backfield or off of passes. The running backs have really been used a lot more by the Tigers this year.
Well, it's that time of week again. Maybe this week I was there when they were recording. I kind of think Terence's Corner jumped the shark this week, but we'll see if Will had the editing prowess to clean that up a little bit. It's time for Terence's Corner.
All right. Hey, come on now. Okay, what's up? Yeah, we're recording, guys. Yeah, we got all that, Mr. Bird. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry, we skipped.
Wow. Oh, I'm sorry, was that immature? Oh, is that, do you not like being disrupted in the middle of something? Is that frustrating for you?
Who's he talking to?
Who's that guy?
All right, guys. Well, Mr. Bird is done slandering us, so now we can continue.
Let's try that again.
No, you were slandering us, Mr. Bird. And that's why CU's going to lose to Oregon in 2 weeks. And then USC. And they're going to have a 3-2 record.
We've already exceeded everyone in this room's expectations.
Oh, you won 2 games. Are you satisfied with 2 games?
I just came for an interview.
Hey, how about the Georgia Bulldogs, though?
All right.
How about Georgia?
Anyway, we're back. We did not record last week because we went very far away to Montrose. And, okay, hold on. First of all, who am I with?
Oh, Kave Meredith.
Keaton Strange.
Okay, now, anyway, how did you guys feel about Montrose?
Yeah, they're big guys, but you know, they're not too smart. So we beat them.
What about the drive? What did you think of the drive?
Oh, that was awful, man. Was that like less around like 2 hours? Man, can't see like 2 hours. It doesn't get old. That's the rest of us, in the game right now. So
What do you think, Kave?
I mean, I thought the drive was terrible. especially when you came back. And sat right next to me. I had no room.
You invited me back there.
No. Yeah, I was uncomfortable. We're too big to be on school buses.
What did you think of the game?
That game was fun. I mean, we whooped them, so.
And now week 4. This is gonna be a fun game for us. So yeah, week 4 will be fun. But anyway, moving on to the question of the week. What would it be, day or week? Yeah, it could be day. Okay. How many colors are in the rainbow?
Got it. 7.
7.
Yeah, it is 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Well, then I guess I have to ask you another question. What are the colors of France's flag?
Red, white, blue.
Okay, what order does it go? Like red, white, blue? What order?
Pretty sure. Red, white, blue. Where's it?
White. No. Blue, white, red.
Yeah, because y'all were whispering that. It was Dom. Oh, Dom, come here. Dom, come here. Dom, come here.
Yeah, dude.
Dom, tell us what day it is.
It's the 14th, I think. September. I think it's the 14th of September.
Yeah. Okay, all right, hold on. We have one more question. So if you had a sister, who on the team would you let date your sister?
I mean, I would go Braylon.
Oh, absolutely. You can't even talk to her.
He's a sweet guy. There's nothing wrong with Braylon. Who are you saying?
I think Cole. Wow.
Cole Powell has a girlfriend.
Yeah, but exactly. My point exactly.
Yeah, but. All right. Okay.
All right, I'm rocking with Braylon.
That's crazy.
Why? He's a sweet guy.
Jeremy Price.
No.
Why not? Okay. Why would you let who you picked date your daughter or your sister, not your daughter? My daughter. That would be weird.
He's a sweet guy. I mean, there's nothing.
Who did you even say?
I said Braylon. Don't you think? What about you?
I would say Ronan probably, because no offense to Ronan, but Ronan he's not interested in talking to girls. He's more interested in playing football. So, I mean, I don't know. All right. Any other comments you guys would like to have?
No.
Week 4.
Who are we playing? I don't know.
Who cares?
All right. Bye, guys. See you guys next week.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
I wasn't born a leader.
It wasn't given to me.
I couldn't buy it.
How'd I get here?
I decided.
I decided.
I decided.
I decided. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, John Kent here with you as our pregame show continues to roll on. Let's take a peek at the top 10 here coming into today. As right now, Palmer Ridge holding on to that number 1 spot. And this is, by the way, according to Max Preps. No Chassanow.com top 10 this year. Erie in number 2. You have this Broomfield team holding the 3rd spot. Even though they lost last week to a Holy Family team, a much improved Holy Family team, but I think that was a bit of the shocker for the state. Montrose are 1 and 2, but they are holding strong at number 4. You have Loveland at number 5, Pueblo West at 6, Heritage, Dakota Ridge, Windsor, and Golden. And what's interesting is, man, this state, in terms of the top in 4A, is a little bit of a mess. A couple nights ago, Windsor lost to Fossil Ridge, and they are going to do the national anthem, by the way. So we'll pause, take a moment. We'll join the national anthem live here in the stadium on the Erie Tiger Network.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, that was Sydney Mataloni on the national anthem, an Erie Tiger Choir student. We talked about the top 10. The only thing I was going to say there, John, right now it seems like there are 2 teams in the 4A that are interested in being the dominators, and it's Palmer Ridge and Erie. And outside of that, it just seems like everyone else in 4A has been on the struggle bus this year. Of course, Erie will be up at Windsor next week. There will be coming off a loss against Fossil Ridge. Let's also take a look here at the keys to the game. Keys to the game, limit turnovers, 0 turnovers in that Week 3 win against Montrose, and they had 3 turnovers in the loss against Vanguard. So, I mean, that recipe is always the same throughout football, but it just feels especially so for this Tiger team. You've got to take care of the football.
I'd like to add on, the Tigers have gotten a turnover in every single game through the first 3 weeks, so adding on to limiting turnovers, continuing to force turnovers is going to be another huge thing to this game. They can get a fumble or an interception that completely flips the game over.
We already talked about this, but last year this Broomfield squad ran wild against Erie. Erie has to shut down the run game. They have to show that not only did shutting down Vanguard in Florida, was that the real thing, not only was really limiting Montrose in their running game, that was real. They got to come out and prove it here today, because as we've seen, this Broomfield offensive line, they are big, they are strong, and they are used to blowing holes in the run game wide open. So that's going to be huge today for these Tigers.
Yeah, this Broomfield team looks very similar all around to that Montrose team that Erie beat in the playoffs, 2 years ago now? Just big on the front lines, and just running the ball through everyone that they come across. If Erie can limit the run game here, it's going to be a great recipe for victory.
A Saturday day game, a little bit of crisp in the air. You have a full visitor section across the field in Broomfield. This has a little bit of a feeling of a playoff game, doesn't it?
Yeah, really no better environment here. Everyone at this game really cares about this game. It's formed into somewhat of a rivalry here between Erie and Broomfield. Always a good contest, and it'll be nice to see one again here today.
Well, both teams set to come out on the field. We'll take our final timeout. When we come back, we'll have kickoff. It's Erie Broomfield on the Erie Tiger Network.
Have you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School? Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
You are watching the ETN.
And welcome back in as the Erie Tigers race onto the field here on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Wearing their all blacks here today with the orange crowns, Broomfield in all white with the silver helmets. We have set this game up for you. We are ready to go. And this is where finally the rubber meets the road. And both these teams, there is some bad blood. This is turned into a real rivalry here. Erie comes out 2 years ago. They popped Broomfield in the mouth, and they didn't just beat them. They blew them off the field. They would go on to lose in the state championship. Last year, Broomfield beats Erie not once but twice, including on the last play of the game. They punch out the ball from Blake Barnett's hands at the inch line, recover the fumble. They end up winning the state championship, and then their head coach, Blair Hubbard, he ends up getting dismissed, or rather asked to resign. We don't need to get into that here. That's not the purpose of the Erie Tiger Network, but it has kind of stirred up some things because, you have this Broomfield team that won state. The Tigers felt like they could have been there, and they could have beaten Loveland in that state championship game last year with the way that they were trending. You remember Coach Cooper when he was here, he was a Broomfield guy, and he thought he was going to get the job, and he ultimately didn't get that Broomfield job. So this rivalry has been bubbling and percolating for a few years now, and I think the Tigers are ready to take out maybe some frustration from last year today. We'll see if they can handle that. If you're on the Broomfield side, you're looking for that bounce-back performance. Maybe Broomfield was caught looking a week ahead. You play a Holy Family team who's been off to a good start, but I don't think anyone expected that last weekend. And so we should have a heck of a game for you today. The Tigers will start things kicking off here as they go from left to right on your TV screen. And on a beautiful cloudless Saturday afternoon, we are all set here from Tiger Stadium. For the Eagles, back to return. This one, I believe, is Lennox Richard. And, you know, it's the Broomfield numbers are always tiny. It's always tough to tell exactly who's back there. I thought I saw Caleb Meehan back there as well. As Carson Hageman will send this one deep and sends a spinner out of bounds, and so Broomfield will start with good position.
We've seen in the past special teams be a real problem for Erie. Been trying to clean it up, especially this year, but really not a positive start for the special teams there. I'd like to see that get cleaned up later on in this game.
So the Broomfield offense will come out onto the field. They're led by their junior quarterback, C.T. Worley, who takes over for the now Wisconsin Badger and former Erie Tiger, Cole LaCrue, who was the player of the year last year for 4A. And so Worley will start in the shotgun here for the Eagles. They will start on the far hash at the 35. Worley will send a man in motion, and already flags. And tell you what, last game in Tiger Stadium, it rained flags down upon this field, and we're starting right off 2 flags, first 2 plays.
Yeah, last game the Tigers really shot themselves in the foot with the penalties, and you'd like to see that get cleaned up this game. Really just make sure that the penalties are limited to just a bare minimum here.
So already 2 plays in and 2 penalties for the Tigers. The penalty on the kickoff and then the offside there. And on the first play, it's a little shovel pass against the grain and decent yardage. A pickup of 6 there for Elliott Less.
Saw on that play the Tigers break through the front line, just didn't manage to grab the running back. Good start for the defensive line there for the Tigers, though.
So Broomfield will come out quickly to the line of scrimmage, but they'll always check in with the sideline. As you see so often in multiple levels of football now, Worley in the shotgun. He's flanked to his right by his running back, and he will hand it off. And there's a big hole, breaking a tackle, and Preston Terranova will finally track down the ball carrier. It was a fumble. No, I thought I saw some Tigers jumping up, but a big pickup there on second down.
Really don't like to see that if you're the Tigers, trying to limit the run game. Just Broomfield making a great hole there for their running back to exploit. It may be a little bit shaken up here for the Tigers with those penalties to start the game.
So 1st and 10 for Broomfield. Worley in the shotgun, hard count. He'll send a man in motion. He'll pitch it to that motion man to the near side. Good blocking out on the edge. Terranova breaks a tackle, comes up, sticks Caleb Meehan, who got the pitch, and he will run it forward for a pickup of about 7, maybe 8 there, and already over 45 yards rushing now for Broomfield on this opening drive after that 7-yard pickup.
You're going to see in this game blocking is going to be a huge factor. On that screen, great blocking from Broomfield. Tigers need to break through if they want to disrupt this run.
Worley in the shotgun this time from the near side. They'll give the little counter, and the Tigers just absolutely imploded the line of scrimmage, and it was Keaton Strange that shot in there to make the tackle. And Keaton Strange, he is a little bit banged up. He's playing through an injury. I tease him that he's the Booby Miles of the Erie Tigers right now, and so good to see him get his nose back there near the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3 here for the Eagles. Worley in the shotgun. A little motion again, a little counter give again. He's trying to break tackles, and I think he was down, and he was. The knee on the ground from Larson, and he got nothing there. Maybe half a yard, and that'll bring up 4th and 3. So got gashed a couple times there, but Tigers have stiffened their necks, and the last 3 runs have been pretty much squelched. 4th and 3. Ball on the Tiger 17. Maybe make it the Tiger 15. Worley will check in with the sideline, and this coaching staff is going to call a timeout. First-year head coach Robert O'Brien, first year for the Broomfield Eagles, the man to replace Blair Hubbard, and already calling a quick timeout, and the Tiger defense is fired up. The fans are fired up.
Those last 3 run plays there, you really saw what you've seen the first 3 weeks here from the Tigers, just getting behind or pushing that offensive line back very quickly, breaking through, and just stuffing the run very quickly.
So Tigers talking this one over defensive. We talked about their success stopping the run. Broomfield has not gone to the air yet, and let's see what they do here on 4th and short. That's typically where you try and, you run almost that little split rail play so many times in these situations because it's hard to defend out in the flats here when you have running motion. Let's see what Broomfield decides to do. They have a crowded backfield, an H-back, a tight end, and a running back all back there with Worley. Worley takes the snap. He's going to give it up the middle. Jackson Kogel just devours the running back, and the Tigers force a turnover on downs. 3 straight gains of 0 yards, and Jackson Kogel with a big stop.
After that shaky start from the Tigers with the penalties on the kickoff in the first play and that long run, you really love to see the defense stiffen up and just not allow anything for 3 plays straight there. Real great start for the defense.
So the Tiger offense will take over here, and I don't know what is going on with our clock on our graphic once again. We'll have to see if I can adjust that here. A little handoff to Lusk, and Lusk will kind of knife his way sideways and maybe picks up a yard.
Really like to see the Tigers try to utilize that running back early, get the run game started here on the first drive. Just build up momentum for that run game so that you can utilize the pass game later. We've seen some deep throws from Barnett in the last few games, and we'd like to see that utilized again, but that run game is going to be the first thing here.
Barnett takes the snap. He's going to run read. He'll keep it himself. He got twisted down from behind, and only a pickup there of maybe 2, and that's one of those Barnett decided to keep. That looked like Gavin actually maybe had a little bit of an edge there, but that'll bring up 3rd and 7 right away.
You've seen the Tigers use plays like that where Blake has the option to keep the ball or hand it off. Quite a lot from the Tigers here. It's worked to great effect because Blake and Barnett, of course, so deadly on the run, and the running backs have been just so good this year so far.
Barnett takes the snap, looks downfield, has plenty of time, has a man coming open in the middle. That's Kogel with it, and he dropped it. Could not hang on. He had to adjust to try and get it. Blake had both posts there, and it was Kogel that just couldn't quite scoop it in. So that'll be a 4th down, and the Tigers will be forced to punt.
Yeah, that ball just hit Kogel in the hands, just not able to pull it in there. Great ball placement by Blake, and you see that after the run game, you see the Tigers pull out a pass, and in the pass that's worked so well, just going straight up the middle with the posts. Carson Hageman, the punter.
Carson Hageman set to punt here for the Tigers. And he will really step into this one and boots it down the sideline. It's going to bounce at the 35 and rolls all the way inside the 20 down to the 19. Heck of a boot there. Field-changing boot there for the Tigers, and that's where Broomfield will take over in their second possession. No, go ahead.
Carson Hageman really just a real impressive addition to the special teams here for the Tigers. Just no one really saw it coming, but putting a linebacker in as the punter, but so far he's been nothing but great punts.
And we have kind of lost connection with our scoreboard packet here. So we are trying to get that up, and if we don't, well, is what it is. I think maybe a USB cord has gone bad for us. And, well, technology, huh? 1st and 10, though, so there are not 36 minutes left. Tell you what, on this sunny day, it is really difficult for us to see the scoreboard, but it looks like 7:52 remaining, and if we have to, we will take down the time and down and distance. It is 1st and 10, so ignore our score bug as there's another really short gain for Broomfield, and all of a sudden the Tiger D-line, after getting gashed for a 32-yard run on the second play from scrimmage, has made 3 straight stops in the run game of a yard or less.
Tigers may be using their significant size advantage against the Eagles O-line to just really push through and get to the running backs quickly.
So 2nd and 9 here. Worley in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Weaves through traffic, and nice tackle there. Blake Barnett cleaned it up, but making the nice play initially defensively was Josh Barrios.
On this defense we've seen this year, along with the run game really getting focused on, good hands from the Tigers this year. Just not allowing runners to slip through their hands very often like we've seen the past few years. Really tightening up on those tackles and making sure that they don't give up yards after contact.
So that'll bring up 3rd and long here for Broomfield after the 2-yard gain by Worley. He'll rifle a pass and misses his open receiver, and Broomfield will be forced to punt. So a little bit of a defensive start here in both of these. Possessions here for both teams.
Seen early from the Tigers here after that long rushing play, just really giving up nothing to this Broomfield offense, and just a fantastic start for the Tigers defense. Seen this in the last few games, and just really great things all around.
Here, oh, a little bit of pressure there. That punt is high and short. It's going to fall on the Broomfield side. Checks up. Barnett came up to almost touch it. Instead, it'll be down at the 49, and there is a flag on the play on the near side. And we'll see what this one is about. And, well, the Tigers will have great field position. So a couple runs that were stopped, incomplete pass that probably should have completed there. And let's see what this penalty is all about as the Tigers will start their 2nd possession.
Seen from the last few games, the Tigers have taken some risky punt receptions and maybe trying to not go for those as much, be a little bit safer on the run. Tigers still waiting to see what the penalty is.
Dead ball, personal foul on the Tigers. Penalty will be marched off at the spot of the end of the play.
So a personal foul on Erie, and didn't see what happened there, but can't imagine that coaching staff will be pleased with that. As Barnett will throw on 1st down. Has plenty of time again. Chase from behind, and he's going to be sacked back at the 25. Huge loss there for the Tigers. A loss of 10, 11 yards on the play.
Yeah, just Barnett not seeing the defender coming from behind him until it's too late, waiting for something to develop downfield. It just didn't happen.
2nd and 21 for the Tigers.
So now Barnett in the shotgun here. He's got 3 wide. He's had decent time to throw here. As he drops back, more decent time again. This time he'll step up in the pocket and get slung down from behind. And that's one of those, just hang in the pocket there, Blake, as he got sacked at the line of scrimmage. You had time there. He kind of wanted to run. There was nothing there.
Just a real defensive battle so far, and neither defense giving up anything to the offenses. Barnett maybe a little bit squirrely there, trying to make something out of nothing that was there. Maybe should have waited a little bit longer for something to develop downfield.
So 3rd and 21 for the Tigers. Barnett in the shotgun, looking, fires the deep route to Donovan O'Brien, and he kind of pulled up, actually. And I think Blake wanted to keep running, and Donovan looked like he was thinking about cutting it back, and Blake took a shot toward him, and I think Donovan just got a little bit slowed up there.
Blake a little bit pressured in the pocket there. Maybe threw a little bit a ball that he didn't love too much, and receiver maybe not on the same page as Blake. Just a great defensive battle so far for these two teams.
Now this punt is going to bounce again. A nice Tiger bounce down to the 22.
Ball rolls dead inside the Broomfield 25 to the 23.
After giving up a good field position to Broomfield on that opening kickoff, it's nice to see the punts really pin them back a little bit deeper in their own territory. Just not giving Broomfield that good starting position that they saw in that first drive and were used to get into the red zone.
By the way, 4:53 left. Well, I'll try and remember to say the time. We'll have to order a new USB cord because we are SOL right now in terms of getting that scoreboard connectivity. And I don't know if it's our long one or a short one, so, you know, we'll try a couple different things here. But 1st and 10 now for the Eagles. Handoff on the left side of the line of scrimmage there, and kind of weaving his way through traffic is Joe Larson, and he picks up about 3 that time.
Ball spotted at the 25. Second.
Seeing a lot of motion runs here from Broomfield. Not really just handing it right off, but usually having a little bit of motion behind the quarterback maybe, or running across the field, and hasn't worked super well so far.
One pass and a whole bunch of runs, and make that the second pass, and that's also incomplete. So both offenses kind of off to a sluggish start here, as this will bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, going into this game, I'm not sure if anyone really expected this to be a defensive battle to start the game, especially with Erie's explosive offense that they've exhibited the last 3 years. But so far, really no offense.
So 3rd and 7 here. Broomfield at the near hash. Worley sends a man in motion, takes the snap. He's being blitzed, throws it to the running back in the flat bobble catch. He's got room on the sideline up across the 35 and finally corralled there across the 45 up to the 47. Perfect call at the perfect time as the Tigers sent the corner blitz, and they threw it out in the flat there on that play. A pickup of 20 yards. And Preston Terranova is shaken up on the play.
Really hate to see that. Preston Terranova has been one of the more explosive players on this Tigers defense, especially in that game against Mullen.
So 1st and 10 here for the Eagles. Worley in the shotgun. Heavy package backfield. He's going to look the deep route. Instead, he'll have to pull it. Now being pressured and weaves through traffic a little bit, and really tough running there for Worley, a pickup of 4 after things kind of broke down.
Really great coverage there from the Tigers, making sure that that option downfield doesn't work out. So the Eagles have to go for maybe a less good run play option. A lot of movement here from Tigers, taking players in and out. Barnett comes in.
That'll bring up 2nd and 6 here for Broomfield. Worley again, hands it off up the middle. A nice hit down low on Larson. That was Blake Barnett that came up to make the play. And then some physical blocking downfield by the Broomfield receivers. And about a 4-yard pickup there, again for Larson.
Really just a physical battle here. We've seen some big hits from Erie, and those Broomfield backs have just eaten them up and pushed through for some extra yardage.
So 3rd and a long one here. They've got to get it. Down to the 43. They're just inside the 45. Quarterback keeper up the middle, and Worley will have it, and then some good gang tackling from Erie. Tough running, though, from Worley, and he'll pick up the 1st down.
We've seen Worley really just run through some Tigers defenders to pick up an extra yard or 2 on all of his runs. Really some just tough physical running from Broomfield here, running right into the defenders and not really looking for a way to slip out.
Ball spotted at the 37-yard line.
So ball spotted at the end. We have the correct time and down and distance. We got it back, people. In the middle of the game, we figured it out. So 1st and 10 for Broomfield. High snap, good catch there by Worley. A little delayed give there, and just kind of picking his way forward for 3 yards is the ball carrier. That was Caleb Meehan. And that'll bring up 2nd and 7. And right now, it's been Broomfield just controlling the ball. That's what you want to do if you're Broomfield, right, is just stay in control of the football, keep that Tiger offense on the sideline.
You see this in so many Tiger games, just the other team ground and pounding, and really Tigers usually don't control the time of possession. Really quick scoring drives from the Tigers usually, and then long drives from the other team.
2nd and 8 here for Broomfield. Worley again. Really taking his time here. They are trying to milk every second. There goes the high snap over the head of Worley. He runs back to get it, rolls, throws it, has a man open, and it's caught. And the Tigers got sucked up on the fumble, and Worley found an open man down the field all the way to the 20. A 15-yard pickup on a broken play, and some busted coverage. Tigers forgetting to do their job once they saw that ball on the turf.
Really impressive play there from Worley, regaining composure after that fumble and dialing up a great pass to his receiver on the sideline.
So his second completion, both 15 yards or longer, and it's a fresh set of downs, so disaster turns into a big play for the Eagles, and now they're in the Tiger red zone knocking on the door. 1 minute and 4 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1, no score. In the shotgun now is Worley. High snap again, and we might tell you what, the Tigers have played some centers that have struggled to snap the football. And just don't forget, you keep seeing that high snap. If Broomfield can't get that corrected, we might see another one of those.
We saw the same thing in the first game of the year against Vanguard. A lot of troubles with the snaps. I think there was 6 fumbles in that game, maybe more. The Tigers managed to recover 2. If the Eagles fumble again, you'd like to see the Tigers pick up one of those.
So 2nd down and 6 here for the Eagles at the Tiger 15-yard line. Worley in the shotgun. Takes the high snap again, hands it off. Larson, big hole, and man, he gets submarined there by Blake Barnett. And I think it's a gain of 5, and it appears to be about a half a yard short.
Earlier in this game, you saw Broomfield get down into the red zone and the Tigers make a great defensive stop. If you're the Tigers, I'd like to repeat that success here and just stop them for 2 straight plays again.
Broomfield's going to take this to the quarter. At the end of 1, no score here on the Erie Tiger Network.
You are watching the ETN.
Welcome back in Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, John Kent here with you. Special shout out to Chad Jameson, producing, directing, operating the replay system. It's a one-man band here. And then up top we have Braxton Willard and Ian McGuire operating our cameras here today. So 3rd and short here for Broomfield. Tigers able to stuff them last time Broomfield was on this part of the field. Either way, if you're Erie, you got to figure out a way to get this offense going. 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs. So Worley in the shotgun. It's Larson flanking him to his left. Worley gets the snap. He's going to follow blockers, has some room, weaves through traffic, and just running through tacklers and plunging into the end zone for a Broomfield touchdown, a 10-yard run from C.T. Worley, and that's the first score of the game.
Tigers may be thinking it was down there a little bit early. Really no one there to stop him. Just a few hits on him and able to run through some of the defenders and get into the end zone.
So with 11:48 remaining in the first half, Broomfield will take the first lead of the game on the run there by Worley. And if you're the Erie defense more than anything, you want the offense to kind of get going here, give you a little bit of a break. as that kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 here in the first quarter as we roll on. Tiger fans, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Erie Tiger Network. You can hit the notification icon for any time that we are live. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Erie Tiger Media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or X, or Meta, or I don't know, Alphabet. There's all, who knows these days? Brands are constantly rebranding. Maybe we'll rebrand. We're no longer the Erie Tiger Network. We're the Growl. Okay, that's lame. John shaking his head up here, folks. So Broomfield set to kick off. Back deep for Erie is Braylon Tolliver. And then 2 upmen for the Tigers. One is Lusk. And I'm not sure who the other is, as this kickoff is going to be short, and it's going to be Lusk to take this one. Lusk across the 20 up to the 25, stutters in a hole, bursts through a small little pocket there, and stretches it up to the 31, and that is where Erie will start. And if you're Erie, you just got to get a first down right now. Start feeling good about what you're doing on offense.
We've seen this before from Erie, maybe sputtering on the first few drives, but once you get that first down, really start picking up momentum for Erie, and that's what they work off of, is getting those momentum and then just taking advantage of that to get big plays and just working the pace of the game.
Barnett in the shotgun here. I believe that's Tolliver flanking him. And man, we don't talk to us. We're doing a broadcast, so you got to go down there. It's not us. It's not us. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Tigers, or 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup there from Tolliver. Too many people trying to talk into our press box. 2nd and 9. Barnett in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it to Tolliver, and again, just nothing going for this Erie offense.
Trying to get that run game going for the Tigers, but really just running into a brick wall. Maybe try to go to the pass here if you're the Tigers instead of the run, but you'd like to see the run game get up and going like they have gotten in these first 3 games.
So 3rd and 9 here for the Tigers. Ball spotted at the 31, and the Tigers are stymied right now. They got to come up with something. Broomfield crowd the line of scrimmage. Tigers have it spread out. Barnett looking to pass, fires the out route. It's Sweeney, and he has it for the first down. Oh, man, what a terrible spot. What a terrible spot. If we run that back, let's see where Alex caught this. I mean, we're standing on the down. Look where he has it. He's a yard past the down marker, and they marked him all the way back a half a yard inside. But there's a penalty on the defense, a face mask, and so all that's moot. Maybe I'm a little too turned up here, John. I think that's part of it.
Maybe a little bit of feistiness around penalties here, especially from the Erie fans after that game against Mullen, where I think 4 pick sixes called back.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Barnett in the shotgun. Tolliver flanking him. Here goes the snap. It's a direct run for Barnett. Has the right side. Goes down the sideline and finally pelted out of bounds. But good running for Blake Barnett on the quarterback keeper along the right side. And he has a nice little gain there. A pickup of 14 for Barnett. Tigers have rushed for 1 yard per carry, including that 14-yard run. So they've got to find a way to get this ground game going. 1st and 10 now here for Erie. Barnett in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide of the near side. Single coverage. He'll throw the in-cut route to Alex Sweeney. He has it up the seam. Alex Sweeney, will he be caught? He will. Inside the 10, though. A big pitch and catch there between Sweeney and Barnett. A pickup of 33 yards.
Just great use of his speed there by Sweeney, managing to slip by a couple defenders to pick up that extra 20, 25 yards there for Erie.
And, you know, you could kind of sense that from the formation. Broomfield trying to single up these talented Erie receivers. First and goal from the 8. Barnett's going to keep it on the right side. Makes one man miss, goes low, and drives his way down to the 2. A pickup there of about 6 for Barnett.
For Erie, if your offense is ever struggling, it's always a good bet to go to Blake Barnett. We've seen in the last few runs, been a quarterback keep, managing to get those yards.
Second and goal from the 3. Barnett keeps it left side, fights through an arm tackle, stretches the ball out, and they will call him down at the half-yard line. So a 2-yard pickup there for Blake. This might be the old Jalen Hurts special here. In fact, Barnett will go under center. Barnett sends a man in motion, goes over the left side, and they're going to call illegal motion on Erie, but I'm not sure why. I mean, Ronan went in motion. I don't know. That's going to back up Erie 5 yards. You're allowed to have a man in motion at the snap. He wasn't running forward. I didn't see anyone else moving, but, you know, we don't have the best view. So we'll do it again here. Third and goal from the 6. Trips to the far side. You have O'Brien singled up here on the near side. They'll send Sweeney in motion. Barnett's going to dance through the hole, gets it through the left side, dives into the end zone, and the Tigers score from 6 yards. And it is a touchdown and an extra point away from tying up this game.
I said earlier in this game that blocking was going to be a big part of this game, and on these last few Blake Barnett runs, we've seen the blockers really create great holes for him to use and just take advantage of for extra yards and just powering that touchdown drive.
So Tigers trying to tie this one up, and it was that big third down conversion as the Tigers go for it, and they get it. So they get it. It's Mason Kogel from Ronan Ward, the little trickery for the 2-point conversion.
We've seen that from the Tigers several times here, especially on the first touchdown of the game. They'll go for 2 instead of going for that field goal. I think they've gotten it at least twice out of the 4 games this year.
And let's take another little peek at that one. Oops, and I think I went to the wrong one there. Nope. And just caught the tail end of it, but, well, that's all right. Tigers convert on the, I missed the very start of that, but Tigers lead it by 1 now here with 8:38 remaining.
I like the call to go for 2 from the Tigers there. You get it, you get the lead, you get that extra bit of momentum to go into this next defensive possession. Really just getting that tiny bit of momentum is huge for the Tigers.
Tigers lining up like they're going to kick this onside, and they will kick a little poocher to the empty part, and that was almost nicely executed there, but just a little too much pace on that, and I think maybe the Tigers' thoughts were we don't want to kick it deep. Maybe Broomfield has a dangerous return man. We kicked the last one way out of bounds, so might as well try and get the ball back.
Yeah, really just pulling out all the stops here for the Tigers, just trying to catch Broomfield off guard, and worked on that 2-point conversion. Weren't able to get to it on that onside kick, but just a fun play call here early from the Tigers.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Broomfield at their own 45, so good field position. Tigers got to hurry and get someone off the field here, and they do just in time. Snap, Worley hands off to Larson. Big hole left side. He's got close to first down yardage before he's lassoed around the ankles. And that is a 10-yard pickup by Larson. And Broomfield's starting to find their run game a little bit on these last couple of drives.
We've seen different styles of run here from both teams. Broomfield more using their strength and physicalness rather than the Tigers, who are more using finding these holes and just using their moves to get past the defenders.
1st and 10, Worley hands it off. Larson got stopped in the backfield and then just kind of stretched it out, stayed on his feet, and was able to lean it back to the line of scrimmage.
Back to the line of scrimmage.
Larson after being stopped for, it was 5 straight runs of 2 yards or less, he's kind of found his footing a little bit here the last couple drives in particular. 2nd and 9 for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 44 and a half. Worley throws a quick out. That one's caught on the edge, and then a pickup there of about 7 yards as Anthony Cobb is the one on the receiving end of that, and that'll bring up 3rd and a long 3.
We've seen teams that play against Erie usually rely on those shorter passes and screens rather than going deep against Erie. Against Mullen, we saw so many deep passes get intercepted, so maybe it makes sense to go for those shorter passes.
3rd and a long 3 here for the Eagles. Ball on the far hash. It's going to be Worley. He'll take it up. He was kind of sandwiched and then lurched his way forward, and that second little effort there by Worley was able to pick up the 1st down. So Broomfield will move the chains here as they get it down to the Tiger 34.
First down for Broomfield.
Tigers trying to keep some linebackers. By the way, Preston Terranova is back out there for Erie defensively. Tight formation for the Eagles. Worley looks to throw. It's a little double move down the sideline and just overshot his intended receiver. Good coverage applied on the play by Preston Terranova. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Like I was saying, these Erie defenders are so good at covering those deeper passes. Blake Barnett, Preston Terranova, really just star players on the defense on covering those deeper throws and disrupting them in any way possible.
43 yards passing, 104 on the ground for Broomfield. Almost midway through quarter number 2 here. Larson will get it on the little inside give, and a good stop by Cole Powell that time, shedding the blocker and getting to Larson and driving him backward after a pickup of only 1.
Every time that this Erie defense has stopped the run, they stop with a statement, using their size and power to really just throw the Erie back down and making sure that they don't get anything.
So 3rd down and 9 to go. Worley, and it's a timeout. Timeout here on the field.
Timeout.
And we will take a timeout. Tigers, they lead it 8-7 here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Kicking off the season celebrating 35 years of serving our local community. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a do-it-yourself project. At Budget Home Supply, we value a more personal relationship with our customers. Hey, Ernest. Hey, Vern. Whether you have a project in your kitchen or bathroom, a new outside deck, or just some general home improvements, indoors or out, come on down to Budget Home Supply.
And welcome back in. 3rd down and 9. Worley in the shotgun here. Broomfield sends a man in motion. Worland dropped it. He stumbled backward. Now he's going to pick it up and then almost got through an arm tackle. Good tackle by Luss. That's the 2nd time that Worley has turned a loss into something. And Worley, I think he jammed his thumb on the snap because he stumbled backward and dropped it, and it caught him, and he is shaking his hand off.
More snap troubles for the Eagles there. That time it looked like Worley just didn't manage to catch the ball right. Tigers still unable to capitalize on it.
So Worley, holding his thumb, is going to come out here and try and engineer a 4th down conversion on 4th and 6. Worley takes the snap, looks to pass, has the out route. Tigers defend it fairly well, and almost a fumble there. It is on the turf, and I think the Tigers have it. Either way, it's short of the line to gain, and an excellent job defensively there for Erie.
Tigers doing a great job of holding on to the runner there, just making it a lot easier for other Tigers to come and help on that defense, make sure that they can't slip out and get those extra yards.
So 1st and 10.
First and 10 for Erie. The ball at
For the Tigers here, you'd like to replicate that success on the last drive using the run and pass game.
So Barnett in the shotgun here. He's got 3 wide. Takes the snap, throws the little bubble, and dropped by Sweeney.
A lot of trouble early game for these pass games on dropping passes and overthrowing the receivers. I'd like to see the receivers really tighten up on that and catch the ball.
2 big drops now for Tiger receivers on balls that were right on the money from the future Wildcat. Now Barnett on 2nd and 10 here. Tigers have had a little bit of success with him just keeping it. He's going to roll it himself, steps up, fires the deep curl route, and that one is picked up by Josh Levine for a pickup of 12.
A lot of the passes early in this game have been right on the sideline for both of these teams. Just barely getting that first down and taking what you have at that first down.
So 1st and 10 here for Erie after the completed pass. Tolliver flanking Barnett as the running back. Barnett fakes, throws the quick screen out on the far side, and O'Brien tried to make one man miss and got quickly up the field for a pickup of 4, but there's a flag on the play here on the near side. And a face mask on Broomfield. And so the Erie fans yelling at the official to keep the flag in his pocket. Might want to eat their words a little bit here. How about this? Don't talk to the officials. Just don't talk to them. So 5-yard penalty will make it 1st and 2 now. That was called 2 yards down the field. And the official going to talk things over. So it was a spot foul plus 5 yards, so we'll replay first down. It was just the old 5-yard illegal hands of the face or something like that. Handoff Tolliver, and he is stuffed. And the Tiger run game has really been MIA so far. Only 2 yards a carry so far.
Really only seen those quarterback keeps work so far for the Tigers with Blake threading his way through the defense. Running backs have really just gotten stuffed by this Broomfield front line.
2nd and 1 now for the Tigers. Barnett in the shotgun. He's going to roll to the near side. Has a man wide open. It's Josh Levine. It's caught for a touchdown. Levine got way behind the defense, and Blake Barnett was able to lollipop it right in there to him. A nice throw, a nice catch, a big play for the Tigers of 53 yards on the touchdown pass from Barnett to Levine.
One of those classic long throws from Erie that you see. A lot of their touchdowns come on throws like that where the receiver just blows past the defense, and Blake dials it up perfectly for the receiver.
So 14-7 here. Tigers and their little 2-point conversion shift. And now they will shift it. I said shift prematurely. They didn't do that last time. They ran the 2-point conversion to success as Tyler Hoffman set to kick his first extra point of the game. The snap low, good hold by Ronan, and the kick is up, and it is good. And the Tigers lead it by 8, 4:58 remaining in the second quarter. We'll take a quick timeout here in the Erie Tiger Network. Welcome back in as the Tigers will send this one deep, but an offside call on the kickoff.
Flag right at the line of scrimmage.
And so that's a dead ball in high school, and they'll force to kick it again.
That is the replay. So far, the Tigers have really been able to not limit. They've been able to limit the penalties against themselves, but not able to there. Special teams still struggling a little bit.
Red Harris, Gio Toledo.
And the Tigers will send this one deep. And we will have a return here, this one from the 9. Big hole, big mistake from Erie kicking it deep. And once again, special teams is going to hurt them. Touchdown, Broomfield. There is a flag all the way back at the 41, so we might have Erie bailed out here by some type of call here. But, man, the Tigers, they struggle on kickoff coverage.
Kickoff coverage has really hurt them in these past 3 years especially. You've seen multiple a game at some points.
Flag is an illegal block in the back by Broomfield.
So the Tigers majorly bailed out there. A block in the back. And this is going to bring Broomfield all the way back to the Tiger, I believe, 32. 31 is actually where they will spot the ball.
And puts the ball at the Broomfield 31.
A lot of Broomfield students wearing red. Don't know what that's all about. There's no red in Broomfield. What's going on there? Maybe someone that's a Broomfield fan watching us can tell us what the heck is going on. All right, 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Worley in the shotgun here. He's going to give it on that little inside give to Larson, and Larson runs into a wall of black jerseys, but he went untouched for about 4 or 5 yards before the Tigers met him head-to-head and picked up 6 yards.
Worley bobbled that snap again before handing it off. It'll be interesting to see if he can tighten down on that or if that jam thumb is going to be a problem for him continuing this game.
So 2nd and 4. Broomfield checks the old wristbands. Now Worley will switch the side that Larson is flanking him. Worley hard count, sends Larson. High snap, pitches it forward on the little shovel pass, and technically a pass play there and a decent little pickup for about 7 yards.
Picks up enough yardage for an Eagle first down.
More big hits from the Tigers. You've seen that all season long, just trying to not let runners get that much yards after contact and stopping them where they are.
So 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the 44-yard line. Worley's going to throw the quick turnaround, and that was well covered there by Ronan Ward, but a pickup of 3.
To the 47-yard line.
Good throw by Worley, low and away from that defender.
Seen both offenses maybe start to come to life a little bit more now. Moving the ball a little bit more efficiently, both playing to their weaknesses or playing to their strengths a little bit more.
So 2nd and 7 for the Eagles. They've done a pretty good job of collecting first downs here. Man in motion. Worley's going to pitch it to that man. Big play. Cave Meredith came in and put the licking in the backfield, and a loss of 1 on the pitch play.
Meredith's just able to slip past that defender and deliver an explosive hit to make sure that Broomfield Eagle is just unable to get anywhere with that.
It's 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles.
And, I don't know what is going on with our replay system.
You're not marking here, I'll take.
So 3rd down and 9. high snap. Worley catches. He's being pressured. Kogel tried to get a hook on him. Now throws it out to a man open in the flat, and he's able to get it right near the sticks. That is going to depend on the mark, and now they'll throw a flag, and I don't think it matters. That's going to be against Erie. Nice play by Worley to check it down to the open man. No one accounted for the running back in the flat, and it was an 8-yard pickup, and now it's going to be a first down because of the penalty.
Running back just sat in the flat there for so long. You'd like to see one of your defenders come forward and help cover him. Make sure that the quarterback can't bail it out. He was so close to getting sacked there, but just able to slip it out to the running back on the flat.
We'll take just a moment here. All right, so 1st and 10. There's a snap. Worley being pressured, gets away from pressure. Good pocket presence, and then he's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. A nice little gang tackling sack there for the Tigers as Worley loses about a yard. Carson Hageman, and there is a player. Is it a timeout with 1:45, or was it just out of bounds, or is there a player down? Couldn't quite tell. I think it's a Broomfield Eagle that maybe was slightly shaken up, and they wanted to stop the clock.
We've seen Worley so far just be able to slip out of these sticky situations and just barely escape and get through some and make something out of nothing in some cases, and in some cases just get out of a huge loss.
So 2nd and 11 here for the Eagles. And Worley, tell you what, he has done a great job feeling pressure in this game and just kind of, you don't have to be a burner sometimes. It's just about a little bit of movement in the pocket is all it takes. 2nd and 11 now. Worley, high snap catch, and a timeout, I think, was called by Broomfield just before the snap. And so they will stop the clock, a timeout. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. 2nd and 11 for Broomfield, and a timeout for Erie. Timeout for Erie, timeout for Broomfield. We'll stick right here with 1:12 left. Interesting first half of play. You saw the Tigers go 3 and out on their first 2 drives of the game. Broomfield on their 3rd possession, they were able to take it all the way down the field. They punched it in on a run by Worley. And then the Tigers, they finally got a 3rd and 9 conversion. That kind of sparked the offense. They drove it all the way down. Barnett ran it in from 6 yards out. Tigers got a quick stop on 4th down. Then a couple plays later, a bomb from Barnett to Levine. That gave the Tigers a touchdown lead. And now Broomfield has the ball back, trying to drive here with only 1:12 left to go in the game.
Yeah, we've really seen kind of 2 phases to this game. At the start, it's all about defense. Both defenses just not allowing anything. And now the offense is kicking into gear a little bit and making some drives.
So 2nd down and 11. Worley's going to fire the deep curl route. Good catch, good broken tackle. Carson Hageman will clean it up, and they're going to call a roughing the passer maybe on Cole Powell.
Number 88. Brody Judd. But there is a flag in the offensive backfield.
Roughing the passer, so after the 13-yard pickup, that's going to be, what, half the distance?
Tigers once again shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here with these penalties. We saw it against Mullen, against Montrose. Just giving more than they should to their opponents, and in some cases saving some of the opponent's drives and letting them keep going.
So 1st and goal from the 9. Worley takes the snap, looks right, has the man caught. Ward pushes him out. A very short pickup there. Actually, they'll give him 4 yards on the pickup, and that will bring up 2nd and goal. So 2nd and 5. Broomfield really taking their time. We might see them have to burn a timeout here if they don't get this play in quickly enough. Peeking into the back judge now. Broomfield will run up to the line and get set. Worley takes the snap, looks left, nowhere to go, being flushed from the pocket. Runs into Carson Hageman, who picks him up, and a gain of only a yard there for Worley.
Good job by the Tigers not allowing Worley to slip out of trouble again and pick up more yards than he should be able to. Just good job stopping him before the goal.
So 3rd and goal to go from the 4-yard line. 30 seconds remaining. Worley in the shotgun here. Hard count, takes the snap, hands it off. Oh, and shooting into the backfield, making a big play was Lusk at the 5, and a loss of 1 for Larson. And with 12 seconds left, Broomfield has to hurry. 8 seconds left. I don't think they have a timeout, do they? And that's going to do it. Tigers will hold Broomfield empty, so not a great job of clock management there from Broomfield at the end of the half, and the Tigers will take the lead into the locker room. It's 8-7, Erie on top. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie.
To the flow, gotta love that. Get your on the dance floor, dance on the dance floor. Move out the way, thing, doing how you want yours. You ain't gotta ask, keep keeping on. Don't need my permission, y'all heard. What you waiting for? Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine, go and get yourself some whistling. Shake your tambourine.
yourself a whistle. Take your tambourine on and get yourself a whistle.
Now taking the field, your Erie High School Tiger Pride Marching Band. Tonight, the Tiger Pride Band will be performing Blink 182's 1999 classic, All the Small Things, and Green Day's 2004 banger, Holiday, from their 2023 production, Punk-O-Rama. And when it's time to sing along, get up on your feet and join us. The band is under the direction of Mr. Zachary Fruits with assistance from Mr. Tucker Ewer and Mr. Ben Tyler. And now, drum majors, Sydney, Mataloni, Justin Lilly, and Maggie Lane. Is the band ready for performance?
I'd love for us to figure out kickoff return too. That's atrocious, dude. Kick return is like a huge idea. Yeah, just kickoff or kickoff. If that's a problem, then just kick out or squib it. Something. I don't understand. It's been 2 days. Just if it came out with the mantra kickoff, why would you change it? We already have enough issues. Yeah. That was one of those too much time. Yeah, if he's not looking, and all of a sudden, like, their look looks different, but as soon as we get 3 seconds, you guys got the ball to start the second half. I always like getting the ball to start. If you can come out of school right before the half, and then you get the ball back, and that was a good lucky or whatever the fuck happened down there. You know what's stupid? They burned 2 timeouts pretty quick. Hit. And that's like my kid's a fucking that's what he just did. But I'm like, hey, dude, that kid's got history of concussion. We don't just keep hitting him hard. He's already now with a hand injury and all kinds of shit. Yeah, he's a big risk. Yeah, we're gonna leave the water in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it once again for your Erie High School Tiger Pride Marching Band. Band would like to thank the incredible EHS band parents, administration, and Erie community for their unflinching support of instrumental music education. Go Tigers!
And that was the Erie Band and the dance team that performed at halftime here. We are now going to take a timeout here as we roll through halftime of the Erie Tiger Network.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie today.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not know with certainty what lies ahead, but that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. It is halftime here on the ETN. Let's go over some of the first half numbers. C.T. Worley, 12 passes thrown, I believe, and these are very unofficial numbers, as always. We're trying to fix technology. We're calling play-by-play. We're doing all kinds of things and trying to keep stats. Worley was, 9 of 12 for 80 yards. Broomfield, 101 yards rushing on the ground in that half, only 3.7 yards per carry. So the Tiger defense has been pretty somewhat strong. Penalties have really hurt this Tiger team. That's extended some drives for Broomfield. And really, if Broomfield's been done anything right offensively, it has been third down management and playmaking by C.T. Worley. He has gotten out of some trouble. He's made some good checkdowns. He has run the ball nicely on third down. He has been, I think, the reason Broomfield is still in this game.
We've seen the Tigers defense 2 times in this game really just harden up in the red zone on that last drive. We saw them make a few red zone stops. Then on the first drive, I believe it was 3 0-yard run stops in a row. So the Tigers in the red zone have been really great so far this game. Really want to stop the penalties, and on special teams just try to not make those mistakes and get a little bit better coverage on those kickoffs.
Offensively for Erie, Blake Barnett, he is 4 of 7 for 106 yards and a touchdown. 2 drop passes in there that also, one for sure would have been a big play for the Tigers. Tigers, here's where they are struggling. 23 yards rushing, 20 by Blake Barnett. Gavin Lusk, I believe, only has 1 yard. Braylon Tolliver has 2. The Tigers have got to get something going on the ground. Only 2 yards a rush right now for Erie.
Yeah, Erie's run game has really just been shut down so far in this game by that Broomfield defense. You'd like to see that get up and going so the passing isn't as predictable. It's a lot harder to match up on those passing and get the play that you want. Having the run game and pass game working in tandem has been what really has been powering the Tigers' offense this season, because it's hard to counter both things at once.
Really, the Tigers have not run a lot of plays. You look at Broomfield, they have Joe Larson alone has 15 carries in that first half. The Tigers have combined for, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 18 total plays of offense. So, typically in a game, you're going to run 50 plays, 60, or maybe not quite as much, 50 plays of offense. And, Tigers nowhere near that. So I think, they start with the ball here this half. Of course you want to score, and you're always happy with a happy score, but if you're Erie, you almost kind of want to engineer kind of a long drive.
Yeah, you'd like to reset the pace of the game a little bit if you're Erie. Broomfield had a lot of momentum until they ran out of time there at the half. If you're Erie, you'd like to control the ball for a little bit longer. When Erie scores, they usually score quickly, so they don't control the ball for that long. Get the defense some rest, reinvigorate the offense, just make sure everything's set as it needs to be for this second half.
By the way, huge shout out to some fans that have been tuning in here and checking in. We always like that. We have fans watching from Canyon City, Ohio, Kearney, Nebraska. We'll forgive the Mihalik family for being Nebraska fans. We've already given them enough grief in the last week. I know I've given Lawyer Dave, as the staff likes to call him, some grief. He's such a good guy and does so much for this program that I hate teasing him about that. But, when you're a Husker, it's hard for me to hold back. Then we have the Harners watching from Pueblo. We have some Broomfield alum watching in Georgia. Thanks for tuning in here to the Erie Tiger Network. So all the way across the United States, thank you so much for being part of this broadcast. The beat will roll on here, and what has turned out to be a pretty good little rivalry between these two games. When this game is said and done, if it ends a one-possession game, John, the mismanagement of the clock by Broomfield at the end of the half, that's going to come back to haunt these Eagles. I do not know how you let that happen. There were 30 seconds left on the clock at the third down snap, and Broomfield got one play off and let the clock expire.
Yeah, if you're Broomfield, really need to get another play off, whether that be getting a field goal or going for it on fourth down. Really just anything there for the Eagles would have been better than letting the clock run out on a halftime after such a long drive and getting bailed out by penalties several times.
Well, we'll take our final timeout here. Tigers lead it at halftime. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second half here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Wow, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation. And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Start of half number 2, and Erie set to receive. Rivalry game. Might we see another onside kick, John? I only say that just because it seems to happen in these games.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all, especially with the way the last kickoff went. Just putting us in a safer area where it's not as risky for the Tigers to have to go cover it. Oh.
So Tolliver set to receive this one deep. And Broomfield checking in with the sideline. That's Max Marchi. And he will send this one deep, and it will be Lusk, the up man, to return this. Lusk follows some blockers. Lusk has a little gap. Can he shoot through the last hole? He fumbled the ball. Tigers trying to track it down. Broomfield trying to jump on it, and they do. And so Broomfield will get the ball back, and they'll start from their own 29.
Hate to see that for the special teams. A good return from Lusk turns into giving the ball over to Broomfield. Can't have that happen. Just some more errors for the special teams to look into.
So another special teams miscue is how Erie starts the half as Gavin Lusk coughed up the football. The good news is Broomfield has just about their worst field possession of the day back on their own 29. Not how you draw it up, though, in the locker room if you're Erie. So Worley will lead the offense back out onto the field for the Eagles. 1st and 10 from the near hash. 2 wideouts to the top of the formation. Larson will be the motion man. Worley will keep it himself. He'll stretch it to the outside. Tigers come up. Blake Barnett laying a big hit and a pickup of maybe 1 for Worley.
Game plan for the Tigers defense so far has really been one guy gets to the runner usually and tries to hold him in place, and a lot of more Tigers swarm to the ball and just don't allow them to slip away.
And if Blake Barnett has you in your crosshairs defensively, you're in a bad place. 2nd and 9 here for Broomfield. Worley will give it on the inside to Larson, and a good job getting through the initial line of scrimmage before he's met by a couple linebackers. And Blake Barnett in there, and he's hurt. Blake Barnett is down, and he is holding, I don't know if that's his stomach or knee or what, but he is down. Oh, boy. I don't even want to go there, folks. This is not good. We are going to step aside here on the Erie Tiger Network.
I wasn't born a leader.
It wasn't given to me.
I couldn't buy it.
How'd I get here?
I decided.
I decided.
I decided.
I decided. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Have you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School? Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator...
And welcome back in. Blake Barnett walking off the field under his own power. And he is squeezing the right hand, the throwing hand. And, oh boy, you just hope that that was a stinger and nothing more. 3rd down and 5. Worley in the shotgun. He's going to look left. He's being pressured, rolls, throws the floater down the sideline and overshoots his intended target out of bounds. The receiver on the scramble rules was emerging down the field, but Worley overshot him.
Overthrows have been a real problem so far in this game for Broomfield, just not able to place it on target to their receivers, and when they do, there's been several drop passes.
Barnett, we're checking down there on the sideline, and they're looking at him, but he is kind of moving that arm, trying to get it loose, and so I don't know if that was a right shoulder injury or a right arm injury, as that's a low punt. It's going to be returnable here if Preston can get it. He'll get it off of bounds from the 25, makes one man miss, shoots up the sideline across the 40 before he's finally shoved out of bounds, and they'll mark him down right at the 40, and that is where the Tigers will take over.
Another good return there from Erie. Thankfully that time didn't cough it up to Broomfield. We've seen the Tigers have had some pretty good returns this season, just some trouble with keeping the ball in their hands.
Barnett is shaking the wrist and the hand as he is back out there. And that's one of those, I don't know that you want him to throw till you see him throw on the sideline, right? Like, you don't want to experiment with that, but they're going to high snap, give, Lusk stutters, and Lusk will back his way forward for 2, maybe 3 yards.
Barnett's handoff goes to number 10, Gavin Lusk.
And a short pickup there.
2 on the play, 2nd down.
So 2nd down, Barnett will check in. Barnett still squeezing the right hand, shaking it. Not sure if it's a shoulder, if it's a hand, if it's a forearm, or what's going on. But either way, a little bit of terror if you're an Erie fan right now. 2nd and a long 7. Barnett takes the snap. He's going to run it to the near side. Has a convoy of blockers. Gets slung down, then hit down low and twists his way forward. That was a good job at the point of attack, just kind of slowing Blake Barnett up, but he will still gain about 5 yards.
Good move by Blake Barnett there, just managing to twist forward for another 2 yards, making this a much more manageable 3rd down than, say, 3rd and 7.
So 3rd and about 3.5. They have to get the nose of the football to the 50. They're at the 46.5-yard line. Barnett in the shotgun takes the snap. He'll roll to his right, looks downfield, fires the post route back the other way. It's Donovan O'Brien. Well, his arm's still okay as he hit O'Brien in stride across the grain. That's enough for a 1st down and then some. A pickup there of 22 yards from Barnett to Donovan O'Brien.
Good use of the stiff arm there for O'Brien, getting those extra yards after the catch, extending that play just a little bit more, making it a little bit more manageable of a field position for Erie.
So 1st and 10. For the Tigers, they've got quad receivers to the far side. Barnett will now send Sweeney in motion. He's going to take it himself on the draw, presses the hole, steps outside, down the sideline, and finally, whoa, brought down well after, and a little slap on the helmet from both guys. They handled that better than some of the parents did. So a 7-yard pickup there for Barnett. They wanted a late hit. I think Barnett and the tackler just got a little bit tangled up there on the sideline.
Good use of the quarterback keep here from Erie. Just Barnett managing to manufacture some extra yards.
2nd and 3. Barnett 3 wide. He's got Lusk flanking him to his left. Tigers trying to get that ground game going. There goes the swing pass out to Ronan Ward. Puts his foot on the ground, tried to bring it back. Good job of tackling in open space out there for Broomfield. I think that was Grisham Lemley, and only a 1-yard pickup between Barnett and Ronan Ward. First time we have seen him get an offensive touch in this ball game.
Seen both teams go to those passes out in the flats, just trying to work up the field slower but surely. Hasn't really worked so far this game for either team.
3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. It's Lusk and Barnett. Broomfield crowding the line. Now Lusk will switch sides here. Barnett, he's going to take the snap, runs read, pulls it, throws the RPO, hits O'Brien in stride, and now a flag coming, and we might see an illegal man downfield, but how? That was so fast. How do you call that quickly? It is illegal man downfield. We see that in RPO, but man, that happened in less than a second. Let's see if we can fire that up on the replay here. And we're going to slow this way down. Yeah, I guess a few yards down the field was an offensive lineman for Erie, but man, that is bang, bang. It's one of those, you just got to sustain a block at the point of attack before you release. 3rd and 7 now. Kind of in 4-down territory. Barnett takes the snap, looks to his left, feels the pressure, fires it right. High for O'Brien, but he skies to catch it, snares it out of the air, pulls it down inside the 20, and the Tiger offense continues their drive on the conversion and pitch and catch of 10 yards between Barnett and Donovan O'Brien, and they have started linking up here in this second half.
Erie receivers have really tightened up that grip, making these catches now and making sure that these good passes from Blake don't go to waste.
So 1st and 10. Tigers keep the chains moving. Noah Garcia, the flying Hawaiian, in at receiver. He's all alone in single coverage here on the near side. Barnett's going to pitch it out to the right side to Sweeney. He threw it behind him, tried to get it, throw it in one motion on the read on the now screen. And Sweeney got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. That's his 3rd catch of the day as Sweeney. 3 catches for 41 yards. Barnett in the shotgun with Lusk, and now 3 wide in the formation. Barnett's going to run it to his right. Has some good blocking, turns it up on the right side, lowers the shoulder, and got it from 2nd and 10 to 3rd and manageable, and I believe that's about a 6-yard pickup.
Those QB keeps for the Tigers going over to the sideline have worked so well this game, and I'm picking up a lot of yards and making either manageable 2nd down or 3rd downs, or just picking up the 1st down and getting even more.
Tigers up to 44 yards rushing on the ground now, doubling their first half total on this drive. Barnett takes a snap, left side, lowers the shoulder, churns the legs, and the big bruising state champion in the 100-meter quarterback, acting like a fullback there, just grinds his way for 4 yards. That's going to make it 4th and 1, and the heavy personnel will come in. I see Gabe Sema out there, as well as Gio Giampietro, Ronan Ward, Gavin Lusk. It's the heavy sneak package on 4th and 1. And it's the handoff to Ward on the right side, has to cut it up. And I think, oh man, that is going to depend totally on the spot. Barnett was slapping the turf. They're going to call this already, and Ward is shaking it, by the way, that it is short of the sticks. He needed about a yard, only got about a half a yard. And turnover on downs for the Tigers. Kind of a sloppy game from both teams. And I tell you what, Blake, one thing he needs to improve, he's slapping the turf down there. Got to cut that piece of his game out. Is getting a little bit too high or too low. So get off the peaks and valleys a little bit. I think that's what Coach Klein would tell him at Kansas State. 1st and 10. Worley Wide open space running up the left hash, running over defenders, and finally Tolliver will bring him out of bounds. And they'll throw you got to be kidding me with that one. They're going to call a late hit, but Tolliver was the one that got landed on out there. Well, I guess I should wait. I've told our fans to wait. Let's see what the call is. But a big run on first down of 34 yards, 35 yards.
Broomfield has really only gotten a lot of yards this game through those big plays. We saw that kickoff return that got called back. That run, the run on the first possession, the only place to go for big yards are those big runs where holes open up for the Broomfield backs.
They're going to chat this one over. The flag came in, but I didn't see anything late. And I saw Worley continuing to kind of run over. Maybe you call Tolliver on bear hugging. No, it'll be a sideline warning on Broomfield. And that's only the second time this game that, oh no, there is a personal foul on Erie. And that's declined.
We have offsetting penalties on the play.
So 2 personal fouls.
Issued to the Broomfield Eagles.
How is a sideline warning offsettable when it's not enforced on the first time? That's unique. Is that really? You can offset with a sideline warning? All right. The Tigers will take that. Don't get me wrong. 36 yards. Tigers started to jump there on the motion, and there's going to be another penalty. And Tigers, they have been too undisciplined so far this year. Too many penalties.
The call is offside on Erie.
Tigers really just need to stop hurting themselves. Against Mullen especially, we saw that they gave them a bunch of penalties that really made the game a lot closer than it should have been, and here it's letting Broomfield continue drives over and over again.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. 1st and 5, goodness. Worley, the keeper, the Tigers, a little bit of a run blitz or something. Worley, I tell you what, he did a heck of a job just to lose a yard. That was dead to rights, 3-4 yards in the backfield.
Worley so far this game has done such a good job of being physical and just managing to push through the defenders and pick up more yards and make it usually so they don't lose yards.
So 2nd and 6 from the 50. Tigers, good job getting into the backfield that time. Worley sends a man in motion. He's going to hand it, and the Tigers snuff that one out. That was a nice tackle in there by Cade Koblentz, and a pickup of only 2 for Larson.
Good hands again by the Tigers, just grabbing the back and not letting him slip forward for anything else. We've seen that a lot this game. Just making sure that the Broomfield backs can't slip through and get a first down.
3rd down and 3 here for the Eagles. You have Worley in the shotgun, 2 wide to the near side. He's going to take it, looks, tried to get rid of it quickly, now throws on the run. That's caught well short. In fact, that was bobbled, and if it was caught, it was a loss, and it was a loss of 2. That would have been better served to have been dropped. And instead, that will back Broomfield up. That was Brody Judd on the reception.
Yeah, you'd like that to be incomplete if you're Broomfield. Turns from a 4th and maybe you go for it. It's a manageable 4th and short to punting it away to Erie.
So 4th and 6, and Preston Terranova back to return this one. Tigers, I'm sure, on high alert for the fake here with the ball at midfield, but the defense does a much better job after giving up that big first down run. Oh, they sent the house. The punt barely gets away. It's going to bounce in front of Terranova. He picks it up, runs along the sideline, sidesteps a defender, and knifes his way up to the 29-yard line. And that is where Erie will take over 1st and 10.
Good return there by Terranova, slipping past 4 defenders to get just that little bit of extra yards so the offense isn't pinned back close to their own end zone. Has a little bit more room to work with now.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers in what has been kind of a sloppy offensive game from both teams. Barnett out there. Tolliver flanking him to his right. He's got 3 wide and a tight end. Barnett takes the snap. He's going to run it behind Kogel and ran it outside of his block there. And only picked up 4.
Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down.
And the referee is down on the field. I don't know what happened there.
Looked like he may have pushed away an Erie player. Maybe was leaning on him.
Let's see if we can see what happened here. So Barnett trying to jump inside, twists, and the referee. Well, let's see if we can. Let's run that again there, Chad. We'll go out wide on this replay. This is a non-contact injury, I think. Oh, no, that's not what you want to see. He is back up and still out there. Or is that a different official? No idea, folks. 2nd down and 6, though. Barnett almost got Broomfield, and they did. So trying to get Broomfield to jump. They did. And an encroachment called and a 5-yard penalty will now make that 2nd and 1.
It's a 5-yard penalty. Brings up 2nd down.
Barnett gets it, hands it off. Tolliver on the inside, and it looked like he was shot out of a cannon there. A great burst and a nice run for Braylon Tolliver, a pickup of 9 on the play.
A lot of power behind these Erie backs run. We've seen a lot of speed and strength. Really allows them to push through the defense a lot of the time and find holes.
Tigers up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Play action, throwing the in-cut, almost intercepted, and another flag, and it's another illegal man downfield.
Erie once again hurting themselves. Really, one of the biggest problems with the Tigers right now, hurting themselves constantly with the penalties in these games.
By the way, that 9-yard run by Tolliver was the longest run of the day outside of the 14-yard scramble by Barnett. So 2nd longest run of the day.
It is still 1st down.
So 1st down. RPO right now kind of hurting Erie because they're getting too far down the field on the RPO. Got to kind of maintain a block at the line of scrimmage. Barnett trying to weave through traffic. He gets sandwiched as he gets across the line of scrimmage, and he only picks up a yard.
RPO has just been such a big part of this Tigers offense this season, especially with how deadly the run game has been. But with the run game being shut down this game, Broomfield can maybe sit back a little bit and not worry as much about the run.
We have not seen the big chunk yardage in the run game for the Tigers much this season. Only 63 yards on the ground in this one. 2nd and long, there's going to be a hold, an obvious call, a throw, and that one's incomplete. And Cole Powell had to tackle the edge rusher. And let's see if they accept that, because it'll be either 3rd and 13 or 2nd and about a mile.
Tigers once again hurting themselves with the penalties. On offense now, we've seen it on defense a lot, giving the Eagles a lot more chances than they, I guess, deserve. But now on offense, it's moving them back and making it much harder to pick up 1st downs.
Broomfield actually declined that because they want Erie to try and convert a 3rd and 14.
It's 3rd down.
All right. See what the Tigers do on this long down and distance. You got single coverage up high. Barnett hanging in the pocket. He's going to fire the deep ball down to O'Brien, trying to get back to it, and that is an obvious pass interference call coming from both officials. And I tell you what, I know if Russ Fox is watching this, he will love that play call. He says, you have got to throw it deep on third down and underthrow the ball. Underthrow the ball and try and get a pass interference call. By the way, an Erie Tiger offensive lineman is down in the backfield, writhing in pain. I think that might be, I was going to say Cash Rhodes, but I can't quite tell.
The call is pass interference against Broomfield.
And I'm trying to look, by the way, and I didn't see anything because we had bailed out of the shot of the offensive line for good reason. The ball was down the field, but I don't know what happened back there because at the throw there was no offensive lineman on the ground. And I'm not sure who this is down for.
Cash.
Oh, it is Cash. Okay. Yep. Big 51. I thought it was Cash just because I thought I saw the hair. And Cash is limping off the field. So hopefully Cash is all right. Cash, a junior for this Tiger team, being helped off the field by, I believe that's Don Sema.
With the pass interference call against Broomfield.
So 1st and 10 here after the pass interference call. Trying to see who went in for Cash. Not sure. Trips to the far side. Lusk, the running back. They'll send Sweeney in motion. They'll run RPO. Barnett will keep it himself. Has a little bit of a seam, and that burst from Barnett is a nice little gain there. And a pickup there of about 11 from Barnett. And the Tigers have about their 2 of their 3 longest runs of the game on this drive.
Seen Barnett being the main engine of this run game for the Tigers so far, just pushing the ball downfield off of the run a lot more than the other running backs so far. He's really been the only option for the Tigers running game.
1st and 10. 3 wide outs. Kogel the H-back with Lusk the running back. Lusk will get the carry. Left side stacked up after a cross, but good initial push by the Tigers at least, and Lusk was 4 yards before he ran into kind of a white wall of jerseys.
We've seen the Tigers runners just not be able to slip past the Broomfield defenders this game. They've been stopped very, very swiftly in this game, not been able to get any yards after contact.
Ball at the near hash, driving deeper into Broomfield territory. Tigers trying to make it a 2-score game. Barnett gets a snap. He's going to roll to his right, fires the floater, and Mason Kogel, I think, not on the same page there as Barnett. Barnett wanted him to keep running. Kogel kind of turned around and stopped in the middle there. Not sure who that's on. But the incomplete pass will make it 3rd and 7. Single formation again, or single coverage again down here on the bottom. It's O'Brien on the deep in cut. Oh, and that was thrown out either. I'm not sure if that was intended for O'Brien, but you kind of had that double post action again, or Kogel. Neither could come away with it. I think it hit the hands of Kogel. And 4th and 7, and the Tigers going to go. So big play here for Erie. They're trying to make it a 2-score game in the waning moments of the 3rd quarter. They lead it by 8. Barnett stops, fires the curl route. It's caught by Donovan O'Brien past the sticks, past the 20, down to the 19. And Donovan O'Brien, his 3rd catch of the half. And a little close to about a 10-yard pickup there. And unofficially, Blake now 149 yards through the air.
If you're the Tigers, you'd like to see the offense get back into form there.
4 wide. Barnett and an offside call on Broomfield. So a 5-yard penalty on the Eagles.
Neutral zone infraction called against the Broomfield Eagles.
So that'll give the Tigers a very short first down to work with. In the red zone now. Barnett in the shotgun, hands it to Lusk, stutters in the hole, now twists again, and gets maybe 3 yards.
There's a gain on the play, with the runner being
only a couple, actually. That'll bring up second and a long 3.
Ball is at the Broomfield 12-yard line.
Tigers have controlled the ball well on this drive. This has been a long drive for these Erie Tigers. Barnett runs read, keeps it himself. Good read by Barnett. Both the ends went out with Lusk, and Barnett read that and just took the opening and took it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A 9-10-yard pickup for Blake Barnett.
The Tigers finally managing to get this run game up and running a little bit. Players other than Barnett able to get successful runs off of this run game.
Well, at the end of 3 quarters of play, the Tigers lead it by a touchdown. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
If you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School, well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program as we get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
You are watching the ETN.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. It is 1st and goal for Erie in what has been a long drive. The Tigers now 90 yards rushing.
Switching into the field, the ball is on the 4-yard line. First down, Erie.
And so from the 5 or 4-yard line, Barnett will take the snap. He'll give it to Lusk. Nice cut by Lusk, and he hammers his way down inside to the 2-yard line.
It's been really nice this drive to see Erie's run game get more
traction.
More traction. And just working a lot better with the pass game. You've seen that they've been able to get some more passes off than now that the run game is moving a little bit better.
Barnett in the shotgun with Lusk. Quick snap, gonna follow the blockers, plunges into the end zone for a Tiger touchdown, and they extend the lead by 2 scores. And Blake Barnett has his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. And the Tigers stretch the lead, 21-7 with the extra point. Ready to be kicked here by Tyler Hoffman. And Tigers trying to get their personnel in there. Late sub, because remember, Cash Rhodes is hurt. And Erie forces an offside from Broomfield. Now, here's the question. They are going to go for 2. So on a 1.5-yard penalty, they're going to have it at the 1.5-yard line here for the 2-point conversion. Barnett takes it, rolls to his right, looks, gonna keep it himself, and punches it in for the two-point conversion, and it's 23-7. Erie on top here against Broomfield, a 16-point lead. So it's got to be 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions for Broomfield to get back into this one. And if you're an Erie fan, you are feeling awfully good about this one right now.
Maybe not the prettiest way to get to the score, but nonetheless, just a really nice feeling here from Erie, being able to control the game a lot more in the second half than they were in the first half.
So a touchdown for the Tigers on a long time-consuming drive. And 11:25 remaining in this. Tiger fans, it would help us out if you just, real quick, just hit the like button for us. That helps us in the old algorithm. Subscribe to the Erie Tiger Network. We are now across the 4,100 subscriber mark. And we appreciate almost 500 of you tuning in on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in lovely Erie, Colorado. There's no better place to be right now than right here in Tiger Stadium. And now the Tigers set to kick this one off with Carson Hageman. And the big linebacker will boot this one. A sideways low kick, definitely returnable. And, well, you give plenty of room for the returner to give a full head of steam, and maybe that's why the Tigers kicked onside. 39-yard line is where they take over.
A little bit better coverage there from the Tigers, able to stop the returner instead of letting him go all the way. You still would rather him not get much of a return at all, but small steps. Small steps.
1st and 10 here for the Eagles. Worley takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Good first down run for Broomfield, a pickup of 12 or 13 yards from Joe Larson. And that is his second longest run of the day. He has 158 yards on the ground for Broomfield, but under 5 yards a carry. 1st and 10. Worley quickly to the line of scrimmage. He'll send a man in motion, and the Tigers jump. Offside down there. And I think that was Dom Sama. Don't worry, I'll take away points on his next ETN assignment for getting a penalty there. An ETN kid. 1st and 10. Takes the snap, hands off. Inside running play was Elliott Less. And Less will pick up more or less 2 yards.
Elliott Less on the carry.
I'm a dad, John. That's what I have to do now, you know. It's required. 2nd and 3 here for the Eagles. And a timeout coming from Coach Geiger. We'll step aside. The Tigers, they lead it by 16 here in the 4th on the Erie Tiger Network. In Erie Tiger Network, 2nd and short for Broomfield. At this point in the game, you're going to have to start being a little more aggressive here if you're Broomfield, but they'll keep trying to pound and ground it here. Worley takes the snap, looks, has single coverage, fires it down the field and overshoots his intended target. Decent coverage on the play by Preston Terranova, and Anthony Cobb was the intended target down there for the Eagles.
Every time we've seen the Eagles try to go downfield, it's usually been overthrown. There's maybe that one play earlier, but really not able to deliver on target this game for Eagle in the air, or for the Eagles in the air.
So 3rd and 3 for Broomfield. Worley in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, initial contact near the line, and this kind of sputtering towards the down to gain was Larson. About a 3-yard pickup, and that's going to be awfully close. I think it's about a foot or so short. I thought they might even measure that, but no, they will just straight up call that 4th down. So 4th and about a half a yard. Tiger fans getting rowdy here. 2-score lead. If they stop them here, that is going to be a huge blow to this Broomfield Eagle team. Worley, hard count, takes the snap, runs it up the middle, dives forward. That's going to be close. And he wasn't touched till he was passed. The only question there was he kind of stumbled forward, and they will give him the yard and the 1st down. That was awfully close.
Very close. You saw Worley kind of fell forward rather than running for the 1st down. Could have been in front, but
so Worley back in the shotgun here, fresh set of downs for the Eagles. A lot of clock coming off here for Broomfield, and the inside give to Caleb Meeham goes for about 4 yards here. And you know what? If you're Erie, I think you are more than satisfied. I think you're more than satisfied with 4-yard gains. I mean, the clock is now under 9 minutes. You have a 2-touchdown lead. And Broomfield continues to try and run it down the Tigers' throats. Here comes a pass play. Looking deep. Instead, it's a swing pass out to the flat. Good coverage there by Braylon Tolliver, and he dropped him for a yard loss. And a late hit call is going to be thrown on Erie, and that's a ticky-tack call on that one. I mean, you got a player trying to spin out of a tackle and an Erie kid coming to clean it up. And maybe you say he led with his head, but I certainly wasn't late. But so I don't know, did they call that a targeting? Did they call that a late hit? Either way, it's a personal foul and a big penalty there on Erie. So 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. And Broomfield has it just outside the Tiger red zone. Worley takes a snap, looks for the quick pass, fires it, and the flying Hawaiian comes up and makes a big hit on the receiver. 4-yard pickup there. The flying Hawaiian. And the fans chanting aloha. High snap, give to Larson, met in the hole by Hageman, and Hageman stuffs him after a pickup of maybe a yard on the play.
These last few plays from Erie, we've seen really, really good hands and making sure that they get these tackles, not letting Broomfield get any extra yards.
The clock's still ticking here, 7.5 minutes. 3rd and 6 here for the Eagles. Tiger crowd getting rowdy here. Worley in the shotgun, ball from the near side. He's got a bunch formation here on the near side. He'll send Larson in motion. He'll hand it to Larson, cuts across the grain. Almost could have gotten a hold there. Kave Meredith had the jersey. The Erie fans calling for it. And only about a 2 or 3 yard pickup there for Larson.
Disjointed looking run there from Larson, not able to.
By the way, it's Darian Jackson that is the quarterback. I missed that quarterback change. I don't know when that happened. But it's Darian Jackson back there, number 16. Thank you, Alyssa No from Boco Preps for the assist on that one. So Jackson in the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it right side. The Tigers stuff it out, and a turnover on downs on the loss of 1. And Erie will take over with the football.
Very reminiscent to that first stop they had, just not letting them get anything on. I think 4 consecutive plays there. Run just stuffed up the middle every time.
Don Sama out there saying, say my name, as he comes up with a big stop, as well as Kave Meredith, who has really done excellently defensively here today for the Tigers. So 1st and 10 for Erie, and with 6:18 left and a 16-point lead, you might see a bevy of run plays, but right now they're coming out in an empty set. Maybe trying to stick the dagger in here. And Broomfield playing pretty close to the line of scrimmage. You got Sweeney up there. He could burn you deep. Let's see what they will motion Sweeney. And now the back judge is saying delay of game. Ronan Ward will now trot out there. Nope. Make that Mason Kogel will come in for Kave. 6:18 left on the clock. The Tigers' defense has been pretty stout this year so far, John, and we've seen obviously the past few years how explosive the offense can be, but if the Tigers can marry those two, they are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Barnett takes the snap, fires it. It's Sweeney, catches underneath, gets a block. Oh, and just tripped as he tried to get past Donovan O'Brien. In fact, I think he might have tripped on the leg of Donovan O'Brien, and he picks up 10 yards there on 1st down. That'll make it 2nd and 5.
On these short passes after the flats, we've seen this year the Tigers have done a great job of blocking so that their receivers that caught the ball can extend the plays for 20, 30 more yards.
So 2nd and 5 here for the Tigers. Erie really content with milking some clock here. It's Lusk in the backfield with Barnett. Barnett will follow Lusk into the hole, and he will dive his way forward, a pickup of 4 there for Blake.
Really just want to try to run the clock down, just erase any chance of Broomfield managing to get those 2 touchdowns back. Really a tough deficit for Broomfield to make up here. You need those 2 touchdowns, and then on top of that, you need 2 extra points, or if you're going for a win, touchdowns and a field goal.
So 3rd and 1. Tigers will spread out the Eagles. Eagles showing like they might send some pressure here. Barnett takes it, gives it to Lusk, up the middle, breaks through an arm tackle, has the 1st down yardage across the 35, and one of the better runs of the day for Lusk. And a pickup there of 12 yards for Gavin.
You see, that was a lot more reminiscent of what we have seen from the Tigers this year. Finding those holes and just weaving through, using your blockers to your advantage to get those yards. It's nice to see that late in this game.
1st and 10 here for the Tigers. Barnett in the shotgun. He's going to throw it here. Pumps, looking deep, and threw it a little bit of either a miscommunication or a wrong route. Yasso, and it's actually Josh Levine that's a little bit shaken up, but kind of holding the wrist. That will stop the clock. Had Blake peek to the other side of the field, you had Alex Sweeney kind of emerging from the pack there down deep. Lusk again, flanking Barnett. Again to the air, the Tigers go. Another deep ball up for Donovan, and that one is overshot. And the Tigers, 2 straight deep balls, instead of trying to milk this clock a little bit.
Maybe trying to put that dagger and get one more score just to make sure that it's completely out of reach for the Broomfield Eagles. But I feel like running it here, milking the clock, is a little bit better of an option, not letting them have enough time.
So 3rd and 10 with 4:23 remaining. 4 wide, you got Cave and Noah Garcia to the top of the formation. Ronan Ward and Donovan O'Brien on the near side. They'll fake the little screen pass. Now Barnett dances, skies, flips, and they're going to throw a flag on the hurdle, I'm pretty sure.
Blake Barnett carries the ball.
So the officials trying to conference this one. Blake gained about 12 yards on the run. And, you know, they put that rule in for essentially safety reasons, but it's a dumb rule. It is. This is part of playing football, and not many people can even do that unless you are athletic enough to jump over someone while running as fast as you can, and you're penalizing the best athletes in the state when you enact a rule like that. Look, it's not like, you know, it's not like some scrub off the bench is going to come and hurdle someone. That's never going to happen. So 3rd and 15 now after the penalty, and a timeout from Erie. They want to talk this one over with 4:13 left. And, John, kind of a weirdly paced game. A little bit sloppy from both offenses, a lot of penalties. We've seen that this year. And so I think more than anything, if you're the Erie staff, right now it feels like you're in pretty good position to come away with a dub here, but a lot to still work on, and that's always good. Learn from your wins.
Yeah, definitely a lot of mistakes to take into account for in this game for Erie, but having that more explosive offense has allowed them to get a little bit better of scoring opportunities and move down the field a little bit faster, as opposed to the run game by Broomfield, which has given Erie more chances to stop it, and doing the same thing so often has given Erie some time to adjust, and I think that's really helped with these second half stops.
3rd and 15 here for Erie. Barnett takes the snap. Looks, plenty of time. Now he'll throw the deep pass to Noah Garcia, and it was nicely defended there and knocked away. And so 3 straight incompletions will force, that was Mason Smiley on the coverage, and the Tigers will punt.
Seen those 2 deep passes earlier went a little bit over the receiver, so maybe on that one, overcompensating a little bit and underthrowing it, allowing Smiley to get some good coverage on that and break the pass up, making Erie punt.
Carson Hageman back to punt for the Erie Tigers.
Now Hageman, he will punt this one, and this is end over end, and he punted it to the empty part of the field. And Carson has gotten some good roll out of those punts, and that will be down at the 19. And so, shoot, I think that's the 3rd punt this game that Carson has put inside the 20. And so 81 yards to go here from Broomfield. They have to score and get a 2-point conversion to make it a 1-possession game.
You know, we've criticized the special teams quite a bit here, but Carson Hageman really done a great job of punting this game, especially first-year punting, I believe. Really pinning Broomfield down deep and making it a lot harder to get long drives off of their run game.
Broomfield has 77 yards passing on 16 pass attempts this game, and so they're going to have to put it through the air, and that's Jackson, the quarterback. Jackson takes it, scans, looks, has a man underneath, bobbled, caught, and the Tigers swarm, and they force a fumble, and they jump on it. Fumble for the Eagles, and Broomfield saying he was down, and actually did, yep, and it is an Erie call, or Erie ball. The Broomfield sideline was begging that he was down, but up here I thought it was pretty obvious that he wasn't. In fact, we'll run that back again here. And, oh yeah, clearly off the ground. So good call by the officials. 1st and 10 for the Tigers on the Broomfield 29.
Just got sandwiched there by Tiger defenders and a huge hit to knock the ball loose.
See the Tigers just try and salt away some clock here. Barnett will run the draw, has a little gap, squirts through the defense. It was quickly closed up. I will say that was a heck of a tackle by Noah Biller. If Broomfield has done anything well today, they have tackled pretty well.
Yeah, both teams have had really good hands, especially against the run games. It's been really a huge aspect of this game, making sure that the running backs and the receivers can't slip through for more yards. And we see Erie all the time break tackles on the edge with the blocker, and the receiver manages to get 40 yards. Broomfield not allowing that in this game.
Barnett in the shotgun here, looks to the back judge, sees him raise his hand. Now he'll start his count, 5, 4, and that's when the snap will take place. Hand off to Lusk, and he is planted for a 1-yard loss. The Tigers, 118 yards on the ground unofficially, a little less than 4 yards a carry today. That is something that they will want to see improve as the season goes on. You want that ground game to be humming when you roll into the playoffs, and it's been a little bit of a struggle. In fact, the Erie offense today, only 277 total yards.
Yeah, much more of a defensive battle this game, making sure Broomfield can't move the ball very well, and then the offense coming in and getting those few touchdowns.
3rd and 2. Barnett takes the snap, looks to pass. Flush from the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, dumps it off to Kave Meredith. There's a flag on the play as Meredith will step out of bounds.
Good decision by Barnett there to dump it off to Meredith as opposed to running into 2 defenders.
That flag is laying there at the 30-yard line. And, man, it seems like every week, it is just raining yellow. Whether it was that game in Florida, the game against Mullen. Last week was fairly clean against Montrose, but today a lot of penalties.
One of the biggest things that this Tiger team needs to focus on both sides of the ball, really, hurting themselves all the time with these penalties, whether it's moving themselves back or moving the other team forward and saving their drives.
So 3rd and 11 for Barnett and company. Snap, Barnett, delay give to Lusk, has a decent hole. Lusk had to avoid the official, gets it, 1st down yardage and more. He's got a nose toward the goal line, leans it down inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. I believe that was a 29-yard run by Gavin Lusk, the longest run of the day for the Tigers.
That run, once again, a lot more reminiscent of what we've seen from this run game in the first 3 games. Love to see that come out, even if it's late in this game. Managing to weave through the defense. Great run there from Lusk.
And they'll actually mark that at the 3. So 28 officially on the carry, and Barnett will get it, and he will plunge it into the end zone for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. He's thrown for 1, and the Tigers are going to beat Broomfield. After getting their hearts broken about 10 months ago, they have exacted at least a little bit of revenge for one day here in mid-September.
You know, since that last loss, you felt a lot of passion in the stadium and in these players. And that may have contributed a lot to this such a big win against Broomfield. And you like to see it even against such a good opponent as well. A lot of momentum building off of these 2 wins from Montrose and Broomfield.
The kick is up, and it is good, and the Tigers are good. They lead it 30-7 with 90 ticks of the clock left. And their kicking team will come out here. And if you are an Erie Tiger football fan, the 3-1 start has looked pretty good. You have wins over Montrose and Broomfield and a 5A school in Mullen. And hard to top that start. especially when you consider the 1-4 start of last year.
Yeah, so much better. And you think in that first week, if there wasn't so many turnovers, or maybe if that last drive went on a little bit longer, maybe it's a 4-0 start. Such a good start from the Tigers here, especially from last year, like you said. Last year finished off the year strong, but having a good start to the season, even better.
By the way, Palmer Ridge romped over Smoky Hill today, 49-0. And a couple more 4A games that will happen at some point today. But what a week it has been. Loveland lost to Thompson Valley, the number 3 4A team lost to the number 8 3A team, as there's the little pooch kick into the empty spot of the field. And Erie was almost first down there with Noah Garcia. So it'll still be 1-2 Palmer Ridge and Erie.
Yeah, really just a dogfight below them for who can claw their way up. You think maybe Montrose, Broomfield are those 3-4, but Palmer Ridge and Erie really just the most dominant teams in 4A right now, and really fighting for that number 1 spot.
By the way, our Worth Chiropractic player of the game is Carson Hageman. Mr. Zach Worth sending that in to us. Thank you, Zach. So Carson Hageman, and he has just been a monster for this defense all season long. Now Jackson to throw, and Preston Terranova stopped running and squared up, and it went over everyone's head.
Almost a good catch there from the Broomfield receiver. Terranova stopped a little bit early. But overthrown once again. We've seen that be a huge problem for Broomfield, just overthrowing the ball constantly when throwing it downfield. It's been a problem in general this game. We saw Barnett overthrow it, and then he underthrew it. But delivering the ball on target, maybe something to work for both of these teams.
2nd and 10 for the Eagles. And it'll be a little delay carry, and there's Carson Hageman right on cue, shedding the blocker, getting the tackle on the draw play. Tiger down on the field kind of cramping up. That is Kelton Cook. And that'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Number 55, Carson Hageman. The ball is at the 29-yard line, 3rd down, Broomfield.
Good blocking there on the Broomfield O-line. Oh, and a big shot that Dom Sema took. Tell you what, Coach Graff barked at the official. He was not happy that little extra shot that Dom took there at the end of that run. .38 seconds left. Broomfield kind of lacking some urgency here. Jackson to throw, pumps, throws the deep ball, and nice catch inside the 30 down to the 25. I think both Barnett and Preston thought that pass was going to be a little shorter, and it ended up being a deep ball, as Blake tried to kind of undercut the route, and Preston hesitated just a touch there near the top of that route.
Broomfield finally able to get a long play through the air here at the end of this game. Maybe something they want to replicate more next game and throughout this season.
Well, the Tigers will move to 3-1 on the season. They will be up in Windsor next week to take the Wizards. We have not confirmed that we will broadcast that game. The Windsor Wizards have started a live network. They consulted us when they started, so hopefully they'll allow us to do a little double broadcast up there. We'll find out this week for sure, but we'll keep you posted. Follow us on our social medias. And There's a throw high. Good tackle there by Preston. Good catch. And that is 11 yards, so that will stop the clock with 12 seconds left. And another timeout called by Broomfield. I guess why? You didn't manage the end of the first half well. You clearly haven't shown a sense of urgency, and down by 3 scores with 12 seconds, suddenly you want to stop the clock?
Going back to that first half, if you get a touchdown there, it's a completely different game. It's tied going into half, but instead you burn a chance at a touchdown, and Erie gets out to a higher lead. Now you're down by 3 touchdowns.
So 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard pickup from Jackson.
And 12 seconds
Broomfield,
on the game clock.
very unofficial. We have him for around 310 yards of offense. We never got the exact yardage of that long pass play. So 12 seconds left. Let's see what Broomfield does. They'll go to the end zone, intercepted. Intercepted Alex Sweeney, and he's trying to take it the other way and put an exclamation point on the end of this one. It's one man to beat. Hageman blocking out front. Sweeney cuts in, and the Tigers will end this game with a big exclamation point and a pick 6 by Alex Sweeney, and a late flag coming in on some extracurricular. And we'll look at that again. You see Alex Sweeney making the interception. The question is, will this be a touchdown or not? Either way, the game is going to be over. I think it was going to be a penalty on Carson Hageman for this beautiful block. You see him there, and he absolutely took the lunch money of the Broomfield Eagle, and he got a flag forward. The question is it a touchdown or not? How is that a flag? Was there something extra in there? And so I don't know what they called. I don't think Erie gets the points. But it doesn't matter. The Tigers move to 3-1. They knock off the Broomfield Eagles. That's going to do it for us here. A special thanks to our camera operators up top. You have Braxton Willard, Ian McGuire up top. John, any final thoughts?
For the Erie Tigers, we're really going to need to look at those penalties. Good job with the turnovers again. Didn't give any turnovers over to the Eagles. Got a fumble there. We'd like to have a more smooth game overall, I'd say. But all in all, just a great win for the Erie Tigers here.
So for John and Chad, our director, producer, replay operator extraordinaire, I'm Brandon. Thank you for joining us, Tiger fans. One more time, the Tigers knock off Broomfield. We're not sure of the final score. We think it's 30-7, but we're not sure. But for everyone across the Erie Tiger Network, I'm Brandon Bird. Until next time, Tiger fans.